Right. Okay. So do you want to do the introduction, bro?
I'll do the introduction. Having struggled to get here through my laptop, there we are. All is well now.
Hmm.
Welcome, everybody, to the Alien Spaceship. Everything's a bit frantic, so if we make mistakes, please bear with us. I'm Trevor Gear, and he calls me Bruv.
And I'm Emmy Hikins, and he calls me Cuz. Welcome to the Alien Spaceship.
Alien Spaceship.
Yeah. So, today we're going to talk about man and woman, according to. So let's see how that goes, bro. You're the brave one.
Well, I'm certainly not the expert on men and women, but
Oh,
we'll
well,
start. But I'm actually going to I'll be asking you some questions. I'll be seeking your answers on this. And
right?
then I'll give you the correct answers after after your answers. Okay, so basically we are talking about men and women. And my first question to you, Cuz, hang on, I'm thinking aloud here. No, let me start. Let me start again about men and women. But just as an introduction to next week's, I want to talk next week a little bit and discuss
I think you're frozen out.
a brief introduction. She was an American lady born in Alabama in 1880. And all was well. She lived on a farm with her family.
Right?
And then at 19 months, when she was 19 months, she contracted an illness which involved inflammation of her stomach and her brain. Now, nowadays, doctors apparently think it was probably meningitis. But most children at the time who contracted that kind of illness died, vast majority. Well, she didn't. She survived, but, and it's a big but, she lost her sight and she lost her hearing. Now, this was at the age of 19 months. Now, you can't imagine what we can't imagine what that must be like. It's one thing to lose your sight, it's another to lose your hearing. And
Hmm.
actually, it's sometimes a question, isn't it, which people put in quizzes. You know, what if you had to lose one? Which would you prefer to lose if you had to lose a sense, sight or
Right?
hearing? And it's a very hard question to answer. But anyway, she lost both of these amazing senses that we take for granted.
Right?
And who knows how things went in the following years. I mean, she learned a sort of a family way of communicating. I don't really know what that was. I don't think the records are great. Obviously, her family was in some disarray because of this little child who probably hadn't even learned much of a vocabulary by the age of 19 months, was suddenly in this fog, this haze of consciousness. Anyway, moving forward to when she was 7,
Right?
the family got hold of a teacher who specialised in this kind of thing called Anne Sullivan. And Anne Sullivan remained a friend as well as a teacher throughout Anne's life. As I say, Anne was born, I don't mean Anne, I mean Helen's life. Helen was born in 1880 in Alabama. She died in 1968. Um, so she was 88 years old. But Anne basically, all I'll say for now is basically Anne, after lots of, you could actually say sort of violence of anger when she was trying to teach Anne, and when you can only imagine how she was trying. It was all about touching her fingers. Trying. It was all about touching her fingers, and Anne would make signs, etc., etc., all sorts of things. And at first, Anne struggled and she got angry. She was only 7,
Hmm.
and she would even pick up things nearby and throw them. And there's a very good film. I can't remember what it's called, but it'll explain all of it to you. Anyway, moving forward. as I say, Anne
Wow.
Sullivan was a friend of Helen's all her life. Moving forward, Anne, she wrote 14 books. No, sorry, I keep saying Anne. I mean Helen. Helen Keller, the blind deaf lady.
Right.
She wrote 14 books. She travelled around the world giving lectures, believe it or not. Her one regret, which she said to people when she was asked, was that she couldn't speak properly. She knew that we know what someone who's deaf, they do struggle to get maybe the right volume, etc., etc. And she regretted that perhaps she wasn't giving the best version of her speech.
Yeah.
But that was her only regret, it seems. But she wrote 14 books. She actually went to Radcliffe College in Harvard. And such was her brilliance. She went to Harvard University, one of the prestigious universities in America, and she lived an incredible life. Anyway, that's an introduction to something I thought we could talk about next week.
Right.
You know, if people who lose some of their senses or stuff like that, we can just, as observers, try and see what we make of it and how well people like that do.
Right.
So we start there with an example of an incredible woman, possibly one of the most incredible people who've ever lived,
Yeah.
to do and achieve what she did. Quite fantastic. But I'm going to start with you, Cuz, and ask you, as a man, what are your best things about you being a man? What would you look at yourself and your life and the fact that you're male? What do you think the best things are about being a male?
Wow. That's a very good
It's
question.
put you on the spot, isn't it? Really, put
Yeah.
you on
So,
the spot.
it's a very good question. So, the best things about me being a male is
Mhm.
it's that I don't have periods. I don't
You
have
don't
no
have.
I don't have no periods pain. Monthly
Right, okay.
circle.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
don't have
yeah.
none of that. Um
That's one that is mentioned. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, so I don't have no period pains. I would never have birth pains or pangs. I would never have that. Um, I don't think I'm stronger than a female.